Okay, recently got a couple new tires on the front of this thing, this PT Cruiser, and we brought a, when they changed the tire, they had a one of my lugs seized on the wheel stud. So we got a wheel stud that's broke off, and we're going to show you how to change that wheel stud. I got an old head bolt here. You can use a punch or something along those lines. What you're going to do is line it up right there. I know I'm going to do it with the tire on it because it's going to help me. It's actually going to help me hold the punch in place or my bolt here. I'm going to do this with one hand, but basically you're going to put that, line it up there, and hit that on the head, and knock that wheel stud in. And we're going to take loose that tire, and get the wheel stud out, and put another stud in. Okay? Alright, thanks. Okay, so that's not going to work too well. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the tire loose. Looks like I got enough lug, enough of a wheel stud there. I don't know how you can see that. Yeah, I got enough wheel stud there. I can knock it in without any kind of punch or anything. I always thought it was broke off at the surface. That's why I was thinking using a punch. But I got enough stud there. I can beat it in with the hammer on the surface. It'll be all right. Okay. Okay, so all I did is just take a hammer to it. And knocked it in. Okay? So now inside here, as soon as we get this loose, you can hear it rotating around. But basically, I take that loose. What you're gonna do, sit from side to side, loosen up that brake pad. Actually, I think we're gonna need a pry bar.
Your neighbor's gonna kill you.
There's a stud. Okay. Right now would be a good time to change the brakes. You need them? Oh yeah. They need to be replaced. Oh yeah, those shoes can be replaced. Well, I guess we're going to come back and have another episode on how to change brakes on this car here before long. But today we're just going to worry about that stud here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get some grease here. I need to go ahead and grease these other bolts, grease these other studs, because I don't want them doing the same thing this last one did. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of grease on there. Each one of them. I don't know if you guys can see me do it. Can you see me doing that pretty good?
I can.
On the camera?
Yeah.
Just put a little bit on there, just a little bit. A little bit will go a long, long way. And I want to put a little bit in this hole right here. Wipe off any excess. We don't want it getting all over the place. Then we come back behind here, get to where we can get to it. Put our stud in there. Okay. Got our new lug. Lug. I think we're going to use some old lugs though to do this. So I got these old lugs that are just the right length. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this and hold it against the back of it. Burn on down. Put a 1/4 inch socket on it.
3/4.
3/4. And what you can do is you do this just right. Just do just like that with a pry bar. And you can suck that lug up in there. Okay. Are we getting there good? Is it flush on the backside? Go ahead and look on the backside and see if it's flush.
Could do a little bit more tightening.
Okay. What now?
Yeah, it looks good from what I can see.
You see it on the video?
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks good to me.
Well, we're not too worried about it really, because when we go and we tighten our rim down, we're going to tighten our rim down. We're going to have to we're going to torque our rim because it's an aluminum rim. So when we go to tighten our aluminum rim, it'll suck on up the rest of the way. Otherwise it won't. Yeah. It should suck on up the rest of the way. And the other rule of thumb is whenever you put, I'm gonna go over this real quick. Whenever you have aluminum rims, you're supposed to drive so many miles and then come back and check your rims again with a torque wrench. Okay, I think it's like 100 miles or 500 miles. My personal opinion is I'm probably gonna go and drive it 10 miles, okay, come back and check it. The reason why I tell you 10 miles is because your mess ups in the majority of the time are early on, okay, and you can lose your tire real easy. If you would wait 100 miles before you check it real fast, you risk the chance of losing the tire, losing the rim if you got a loose lug. So I'd say my personal opinion is do it, wait 10 miles, check it with the torque wrench, and then go your 100 miles or your 500 miles or whatever you want to do. I like all three. That's my personal opinion is. I go 10 miles, 100 miles, 500 miles. That's my opinion. That's what I use. Works well for me. Haven't lost a rim yet. And I feel bad for people who have. So, I've even heard people tell me that they said, well, they checked it with the torque wrench, and you know, and they didn't have to go their 100 miles or whatever. You know, they didn't go their 100 miles, and then they lost. Well, that's kind of why I do what I say on that, because I don't want to lose no rims. I'm sure there's people out there that do this all day long and tell me different, but I'm going to go with what my gut tells me on that one, because it never hurt anybody. It never hurt anybody to check your torque. It doesn't hurt anybody to do that, so it only hurts people if you mess up, if you're not doing it. Okay, see how I did that? Just kind of fished it on up there and knocked it back in place. Sometimes you're going to have a ridge, and you're going to have a little bit more of a problem with that. If you have a ridge, you probably just might as well go ahead and do your brakes, clean up your drums, you know, have your drums turned, change your brakes, and then go ahead and worry about your stud. See, even mine, I probably should have changed them, but we're going to wait for another day on that. Would have been nice while we were here to be able to do it, though. Okay, and then we're just going to put our rim on now. Nobody really tells you this, okay? But with aluminum rims, you're supposed to torque them, okay? If you don't torque them, you can risk warping your rim or losing your whole rim going down the highway. Aluminum, okay, has a different rate of flex whenever it gets hot, okay, and you can actually loosen up your nut whenever the rim gets hot, okay, from like using your brakes, going on the highway, that kind of stuff. and it can actually loosen up if it's not torqued to the proper setting. For a 1/2 inch stud, you're looking at about 120 foot-pounds of torque on your setting. Okay, Lester, go ahead and show them how it's done. With this particular torque wrench is a click type. All you got to do is push down, and you set your torque setting to 120, and you push it till it clicks, and you stop. And you do that on all 5 lugs, or 6 lugs, or however many lugs, and you're always going to go in a crisscross pattern, okay, like a star. If you have 8 lugs, you're just going to go, go to the one across, and you're always going to do that. No matter how many lugs you have, you're going to crisscross across when you tighten. And that way it evens it out. And I always like to go over it twice, just in case I miss one or one loosens up. Okay, I've had both happen. I've had them loosen up on me, like I torqued them up, and then had one where it was just a little bit loose. Well, after I torqued them all up, it still had a little bit more there. I've had that happen, and then I've also had it where I missed one. Okay, so it's always a good idea just to go do it twice. Just be smart. Don't mess up and lose your rim. Thanks.